he real or is he fake? Only his agent knows for sure, but the ladies love him. There's little doubt that Expo's street entertainers know how to keep faces smiling, whether you're in a lineup or just passing by. All in all, there are 260 free performances on site every day.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself and first what you're doing here at Expo?
Well, I was born and raised in Vancouver. I lived in Delta till I was about 20 years old, and then studied at Vancouver Community College to be a professional actor, and decided that I was going to move down south to Los Angeles, which I did, to become a film actor. Found out after 3 or 4 years that it's really not that easy to become a film actor, and it would be a wise idea if I started to take up something else to support myself. So met some people in my acting course at the Strasberg Institute that were white-face pantomimes, and I've always been interested in pantomime. So we were a group for a while called the Silent Treatment. Then the Silent Treatment broke up, and I got a job through them on the Queen Mary in Long Beach doing Mechanical Man. And there was a regular robot program in the Queen Mary within her system, her entertainment system. And there were 8 of us, and we would perform for thousands upon thousands of tourists a day as they walked through the museum area and try to fool them as best we could. And 90% of the time it was pretty easy. We could do a pretty fair job of fooling people. And it just became not so much as a way of supporting myself as it was, hey, this is something new, this is something different. I really wanted to be as best I could at it. So needless to say, acting has dropped by the wayside, and now I'm a full-time robot.
It looks easy. You make it look easy, but I think it must be hard work.
Well, it is a little difficult. It's a second nature kind of thing now that I can almost pop into it at will, just right away without really even thinking about it. The hardest part is keeping the eyes open and concentrating on that area right here, is right around my eyes, my face, keeping it straight, keeping it almost lifeless. And then also I'm thinking of, what am I going to do with the next person that comes up to me or that I approach? How can we work out something? And I didn't realize for the first 5 or 6 years as I was performing it that it's not so much me, it's not so much what I'm doing to the audience, it's what the audience is doing back to me that is the show. And it's so unusual to see what people will do. And I've had people say, you know, I've stopped watching you. These are people that have seen me for a long time, especially my wife who's watched me countless times. She says, I've stopped watching you and I'm watching the audience now. just to see how crazy they're going to get on you and some of the crazy things. And it invariably something very odd will happen. I'm eliciting a response. I want them to do something strange. And so when I do a certain body movement and they do something back, then I'll do something back to them. And then we'll see how far we can go and how odd it's going to become. And it snowballs and turns into this big little improvisational comedy routine. It's the beauty of it. I love it. People in the BC Pavilion are wonderful. All the people that are working within the pavilion are fabulous. And at first, when I came in, I was a little reticent as to having an audience actually stop and watch me, because I'm so used to an audience that's flowing through and used to them checking me out for a few minutes and maybe passing on by, which could be because of Disneyland and working in a museum and the way people will just look at something and then keep on moving. So as I said, I was a little reticent at first as to them stopping and observing me. Now I enjoy it more than ever. Now I'm just ready for them. Come on over and play with me. Let's do something. Let's interact. It's a real rush. It's a real thrill.
Go back a little bit and tell me about the sort of, the work that you had to do to sort of train yourself. You said it was self-taught?
Basically self-taught. Working on the Mary, there were people that had been performing it for years upon years since they were teenagers, and they were very skilled in their craft. They also were struggling actors, but were using this as a sideline. So I usually worked with a girl who stood beside me in the Queen Mary, and I would watch her out of the corner of my eye and try to imitate her movements. She would move very quickly as opposed to my learning movements, and would start to play with the audience. When I was learning, that was fine with me. We'll just let Sharon go and play with the audience, and I'll just watch. And I tried to imitate a robot as much as possible behind her, beside her. And as you get better at it, you just would naturally want to become more of a plaything to people instead of just the object. So you start to learn how to play with people and start to interact. It's just something you would do almost out of boredom. And then you say, hey, this isn't so bad. And you start to do things such as kissing a woman's hand. What is that person going to do if a robot kisses her hand? What is she going to do if I ask her to kiss me on the cheek just by simply touching my cheek like this? There's so many different things that can happen, and to wait for them to happen is part of the fun, you know. About the future, I'm actually hoping to become an actor again, and maybe the robot is going to be a step in the door to become an actor. Hopefully someone would say, I can just hear a director saying, okay, we need a robot for this scene, let's do this. And then, by the way, can you act? I don't know, it might happen. Stranger things have happened.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't see you there. Welcome to CES. Boy, are we having fun. Wish you could have been here. We're in the Lloyd's booth at the Consumer Electronics Show in Chicago, Illinois, where the Bulls lost last night.
叫做布蘭迪。你睇下佢一舉手一投足咧，都係十足機械人咁嘅。咁原來佢做呢一種街頭機械人嘅表演咧，就已經有成9年咁耐嘅時間啦。咁所以咧就係扮得非常之惟肖惟妙嘅。
咁而家玩緊音樂嘅呢位咧，就叫做簡丹尼喎，而佢用緊嘅樂器咧非常之特別嘅，就叫做 Chapman Stick。你哋聽下，啲音質都幾靚嘅。
好啦，聽完一啲靚嘅音樂，就翻嚟睇下另外一啲嘅。
咁聽到嘅咧就係一啲中國嘅調子，但係好似突然間引嚟咗另外一位西方嘅朋友啊。咁就佢似乎咧又唔係好聽得到我講咩。It seems that he doesn't really quite understand what I'm talking about. Guess he's doing his own. 咁咧呢位朋友咧，即係可以同大家介紹一下咧，就係一位好似機械人嘅人士，的確咧啲表情啊都係好機械式㗎。Good morning。咁佢好似識得聽我講嘢啦。Thank you。大家介紹下呢一位啦，機械人啦。Well, thank you very much, Randy。呢位就係 Randy Burns， 亦都係嚟自三藩市嘅。咁頭先啊 ，Randy, you're very mechanical just now, you know, very emotionless. I was wondering, is it hard to learn all those techniques? 唔知難唔難嘅咧，學嗰啲動作。
It can be very difficult. But like Daniel, the way he loves his instrument, I love very much what I do. And so it becomes easier the more you love what you do.
Oh, you were saying hello?
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Can we clean them out of the bus?
Oh, is this a snowy river? That's it, really nice.
Don't they make robots lifelike these days? But you can't fool our boys in blue. They know when someone's pulling their leg. But if it is a machine, it's a polite one. And it's a friendly one. Happy to swap hats with you. He's amorous, affectionate, polite, and clever. But the question remains, is he human?
But Randy, you are real, aren't you?
Oh, sure I am.
Some people try everything to make him laugh. And in his 10 years as a street performer, it almost happened once, thanks to a little old lady.
She had pushed her false teeth out onto her lower lip and looked me right in the face and went, "Arr, arr, 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 arr."
And he says there's absolutely nothing you can do to break him out of character. But we'll see about that. Well, that shows he absolutely is human. Andrew McKelvey at Expo, 7 News.
Turn around a second, love. Doing this with me.
This is an impression of a robot. The young man has a way to go before he can make a living busking at an international level. But hey, everyone has to start somewhere, just as Randy Burns did. His story is not quite that romantic. He became the mechanical man for one reason, and one reason only.
Starvation. Starvation. Basically, starvation. I was a starving actor in Hollywood, literally. And I remember eating pancakes for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And just going out of my acting calls and not getting any work. And I finally, to make a long story short, I got a job doing this on board the Queen Mary in Long Beach. where I auditioned for the job because I had friends that had the job, and then they quit, and they said, if you want the job, you can perform on the Queen Mary. And I said, I don't know how to do this. And they said, just go, and you've seen us do it, just go and do it. So I auditioned, and they accepted me, and I thought, well, I must be pretty good at this. I didn't think I had any talent for this. They told me 2 weeks after I got the job that they thought I looked like Prince Charles and I'd fit in with the British motif of the ship.
15 years later, Randy's fitting into whatever kind of motif he chooses to create.
Basically, I think when I'm performing, all I'm really thinking about is how can I make this situation odd? How can I make it, turn it so that it's funny? There are certain things the mechanical man does that I will always do that I know are stock funny things. But if when I'm interacting with a group of people, if they want to play with me and do odd things, then I'll play with them.
Playing with the ladies is one of those stock funny things.
I've been slapped, if that's what you mean. I've been slapped a few times, but I think it's a defense mechanism. The women get very excitable right at that point, and because I've invaded their space by actually kissing them, their first reaction is to slap. And I think after that, they're apologetic, and they always want to console me because they slapped me. So I've never had a really bad thing, knock wood, happen to me while I've done my performances.
While he's performing, he keeps a closer eye on you than you may think.
There is a feeling you get from someone. I have to go more with the feeling, this aura, for lack of a better word, because when I'm performing, my eyes are open for long periods of time. I stare blankly into space. I can't focus on anyone. If I'm performing and I focus, I feel that the robot loses his character, because robots aren't focusing, they just pick up the image. So I think any street performer will tell you that you really pick up on body language.
Let's talk about that blinking thing. How long can you go without blinking?
On a very good day, indefinitely. No, not indefinitely, but I can go a long period of time. In a nice shaded spot, I can go up to 25 minutes, I think, without a blink. And I like to always wink at the ladies whenever I get a chance, and that helps not blinking. But I really honestly try not to get a full blink in front of an audience, because I think I'm cheating my audience.
Who is his favorite audience?
Kids and senior citizens are probably my favorite audience. They get totally lost and involved in the act. And I just adore that.
It's clear everyone loves the Mechanical Man. After all, he is touted as the best in the world. He has won enough international awards and acclaim to be proud of the path and craft he has chosen, even if it was by accident.
I would like to be a professional robot for years and years to come. If the body holds out, I will be a professional robot for years and years.
For Edmonton Now, this is Carmen Kodik.
If you'd like a fall crop of such cold crops as broccoli and cabbage and others, now is the time to prepare your soil for the mid-July planting.
The people at Channel 10 are a little bit worried about me, my age and everything, having to work so hard in the garden. So the 10 TV engineers put together this mechanical device to help me with the work in the garden. Let me plug it in. You could probably rent one of these for your own garden. This mechanical device was cloned in the image of Randy Burns, Las Vegas, Nevada. Joe Holbrook with a 10 TV, Anderson's Yard and Garden.
Let's bring on our first guest and see if he can do any better. It's our very own mechanical man right here at the Big E. It's Randy Burns. Well, Randy, welcome to Prime Time.
George, it's a pleasure to be on Prime Time.
This is the first time I've had a mechanical man.
On your show.
On my show.
Yeah, let's preface that. Yeah.
How long have you been doing the mechanical man?
I've been a robot for 15 years. Been practicing being a robot. Yeah, I say practicing because I think of myself as a doctor of sorts, and doctors practice what they do, don't they?
That's scary.
Yeah. It is if you're going under the knife, yeah.
But I want a professional guy who's not practicing.
That's right. But yeah, I've been doing my act for 15 years around the world, traveling all over, and this has got to be one of my most favorite places to perform, right here at the Big E in Boston, not Boston, rather, in Massachusetts. I have so much fun at this fair, I can't tell you. And right here in this area in Storrowton Village, it's so beautiful.
It's the picturesque setting.
Picture skew.
Picture skewed.
Skew, that's when you're being non-cohalant. I'm throwing your train of thought off.
Las Vegas. You're from Las Vegas.
That's right. Where it's a state law, you got to do this. I don't know why, but if I figure it out.
I think there are like 500 guys that do that in Las Vegas.
I think you're right. They are, yeah. To get over the state line, you got to do that.
Home of Tony Roy.
Oh, yeah. And Wayne.
Wayne.
The Midnight Idol, he's there.
Yes, Wayne. I remember him when he was blonde once.
That's right. When he was singing, Danke Shane, darling, Danke Shane. Hey.
Now, were you a singer before you became the mechanical man?
Do I sound like it? I don't think so.
What did you do before you became a mechanical man?
I was an actor. I was an actor. I wasn't a very big actor, but I lived in Hollywood, tried to get work, did not, became a mechanical man. I mean, that's it in a nutshell.
We all have to eat.
Exactly. I got tired of eating pancakes for breakfast, lunch, and supper. And craft dinner, ate a lot of that craft dinner stuff. So I got tired of that. I wanted to eat some meat, you know, so I got a job being the mechanical man, and I was being paid for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, and I would be a robot.
Where was your first job as a mechanical man?
On the Queen Mary in Long Beach, where she's permanently docked. I was performing as people walk through the tour route in a museum setting, and I would be robotic, and I would either interact with them or just ignore them completely and pretend to be a robot, and people would be walking by. It's a very nice museum, nice mood, lighting and carpeting and air conditioning, and they're very quiet in there, very nice, and I'd just be performing like the robot, being very, very quiet myself, not doing much of anything, standing behind stanchions and ropes, so people would come over to the area I was standing in, which was a reconstruction of a first-class suite or dining room, and they'd read all about the suite right there. There's a little plaque, and they'd read about it, and then they'd look up at me, and I'd ignore them, and they'd read that again, and then I'd like reach out and go to grab them, and they'd get a lot of that stuff. You know, women throw their purses at me and stuff, and had a lot of fun there.
Well, with all the new innovations in motion pictures, maybe you can get back into acting. We have mechanical lizards now.
Could happen. That's possible. Like RoboCop 3 is coming out. I don't know if you knew that. I thought, hey, there's
maybe
a part
it could be RoboCop 3 Junior.
3 Junior. Yeah. No, I don't think so. But I'll consider it.
A negotiator.
Yes, the robots are really coming into their own, you know, and I want to be a part of that. I've had a lot of experience.
So you're basically ahead of your time.
I am. I've been 15 years ahead of my time all my life. But it's nice to be a mechanical man and be performing here for the people to see, so they can come right up and touch the mechanical man, interact with me. I love that. That one-on-one contact, that's what I'm after. So people don't have to just look at someone on a stage being a robot. They can actually come right over and play with me.
Up close and personal. That's the way we like it.
That's the way I like it, George.
Hey, thanks for being on Primetime.
It's been, a pleasure. Are you kidding? I've heard about Primetime. I wanted to be on this show.
You've heard all those rumors.
I'm sure. I love it. Thank you so much. Primetime. You're the greatest. I love these guys.
We'll be right back with more of the big program.
And tonight, meteorologist Steve McLaughlin is live in Beach Haven. Steve.
Well, that's right, Tony. We are live in Beach Haven. We are at Fantasy Island. We've been standing next to this statue all night. A lot of good stuff going on down here. No admission, 18 rides. Hey, that's Steve McLaughlin. Nice to meet you. So, show me sun. How about rain? Good stuff. You're gonna have my job in a couple weeks. We gotta go on to the weather. Uh-oh. Go on to the weather. Let's take a look at some video we shot earlier tonight. Carousel. This is great. What's your name?
Steven.
What's my name?
Steven.
I just had to point that out. The kid's so cute. And one other thing we're gonna do, this guy is multi-talented. We're gonna do a twin bill of Jerry Lewis.
Well, actually, I'd just like to say, look at the thing there. I just can't believe what's going on, Steve.
It's craziness, it's silliness, and foolish people.
Absolutely wonderful, but
all right, they're rapping me. They don't want any more Jerry Lewis. Back to you guys.
We're going to send you to time out.
Steve. Yes, we will. See you in a couple weeks.
I'm the Mechanical Man. Have a great day, everyone.
So sit back, turn your power up to enjoyment, and get plugged into the Mechanical Man and Living Doll.